Thank you. The Prince George's County Police Department obtained 3 animal cruelty charges against an officer assigned to the K-9 section. Corporal David Acosta is charged in connection with the mistreatment of a dog assigned to him, a 2-year-old bloodhound named Daisy. On July 14, 2024, the department suspended Corporal Acosta for an unrelated incident. As part of that suspension process, 2 K-9 section handlers were ordered to retrieve Daisy and Acosta's second dog, a Belgian Malinois named Spartacus. After the dogs were picked up, the handlers observed injuries related to an e-collar on Daisy's neck. She was brought to a veterinarian for treatment. Daisy also had other medical conditions that required medical care. The Internal Affairs Division began an investigation resulting in the charges against David Acosta. This situation involving Daisy is appalling. She is a part of our PGPD family. I expect that all of our handlers treat their K-9 partners with the utmost care and concern. To the best of our knowledge, this is the first incident of an animal mistreatment in the 60-year history of the K-9 section. We have now put new policies in place with the intention of this being the first and last. This investigation is in the early stages and it will be thorough. I want to know how this occurred, but in the meantime, I'm glad to report that Daisy is doing well and back to work. Bloodhounds play a crucial role in our agency service to the community, primarily with assisting in searches for missing people. Daisy and Spartacus have been removed from Corporal Acosta's care and reassigned to 2 veteran handlers within the section. In addition, Special Operation Division commanders, they have developed and immediately implemented new policies to ensure the well-being of all our K-9s moving forward. And these things include a more comprehensive weekly visual inspections, bi-monthly in-depth inspections, and biannual kennel inspections. Corporal David Acosta joined PGPD in 2006, and he's assigned to the Special Operations Division K-9 section. One of the 3 charges against Acosta is a felony, and he will be suspended without pay. This remains an active internal investigation, and anyone who has information relevant to this investigation is urged to contact Prince George's County Police Department. With that, I'll take a couple of questions before we end this, if anyone has any. We'll start over here. The dog is doing just fine. I thought, well, the picture of the dog is behind us, and Daisy is doing fine now. And the injuries resulting, what we believe is from an e-collar, which is not authorized for what we do. And so those injuries were, according to the veterinarian, we get all our dogs checked by veterinarians at least once a year. There's some other, follow-up type of things that are done, but at least an annual, they're done annually. And that came out of that this was, in a trained professional's view, was something that was resulting out of the e-collar that we don't authorize.
How people feel about dogs? How do you feel when you heard this?
I mentioned it was appalling. I was just disgusted. Animals, no animal deserves mistreatment because they're in our care and our custody, and especially people say man's best friend, but humankind's best friend, and our families and our workplace. They do a great amount of work for us, and they should be treated. They are partners. They're so much partners that if they are injured, we note it. We make it public. If they suffer a death, we make it public. At memorials, we place pictures on the wall. They mean that much to us in our police life and our family life. So I was disgusted, and as always, a part of me that says, when that disgust happened, I know an investigation has to play out. I know those things we have to uncover, all the truths associated with it. But on the surface, I was not happy at all, and I won't be happy until I get the final result of what actually occurred. But what I know occurred in the preliminary stages, unacceptable. And it's not just unacceptable to me, it's unacceptable to the men and women you see beside me, it's unacceptable to our greater command staff, and it's unacceptable to our police officers, the men and women who serve every day. But more importantly, in our 60-year history, it's important to the K-9 handlers who take this job so serious that it was so appalling to them.
Hound dogs bark a lot. Is that what this is about?
It could possibly be. Our Internal Affairs Division, will investigate that properly. But you're absolutely right, and that I think many people come to a conclusion that may be it, but we don't know that at this point.
Do we know or can you share what the officer was suspended for initially?
That officer was involved in some family-related, matter, and we took action to suspend that officer for that right there. And during that process, beforehand, we had some other issues going, and this just kind of had a snowball effect on what was happening with this particular officer and his K-9.
This collar is not illegal, it's just not used for your department, correct? It's not an illegal collar, or?
Where's Deputy Chief Gomez? I'll let Deputy Chief Gomez come up here and answer some of the questions about the usage, what we would use it for, and how we train and what we do.
Good afternoon, everyone. You're absolutely right. The collar is not illegal, but it's supposed to be used in the preference of the manufacturer.
Yeah.
So like for what? Like it's not department issue. It's not your K-9. Not
It's a training. It's used for training, but for a bloodhound, it's usually not authorized for a bloodhound. So we use it for our patrol dogs and tactics for training.
So it's like when the ones you push the button if it's running too far, or is this just a straight up bark collar?
It's just a straight up bark collar.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.